¿Qué pasó, mi gente? What's up? Welcome back to the Global Latin Factor podcast, where we talk about Latino everything. I'm your host, Crispin Valentin. Today, we are diving into something very unique. And today, we definitely are diving into something very ancient. Not chocolate, not candy, but cacao. The real raw sacred stuff. Before the sugar, before the brands, cacao has been part of our story for thousands of years, from the Amazon to Mesoamerica, and right now to your cup today. And along the way, it's been money, medicine, ritual, and remembrance. So get ready. This ain't just your average sweet treat episode. Let's clear it up right now. Cacao is not chocolate. I'll repeat, cacao is not chocolate. Cacao is the raw seed that grows inside these colorful pods on a tropical tree. The scientific name is Theobroma cacao, which means food of the gods. Even science agrees with us in regards to giving it its props. Now, chocolate, that's what happens after cacao gets processed. You mix the sugar, you mix the milk and other flavors, and you get that good stuff. Yeah, for sure, it's good, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the real deal. Cacao is like the thing that our ancestors used to use. It's bitter, it's earthy, it's medicine, and it still carries the memory of our people in every sip. Down in Costa Rica, in the mountains of Talamanca, the Bribi people, they don't just grow cacao. No, they honor it. They call it gold, but not like gold like money. They say cacao is a sister, a living spirit, one that heals and one that teaches. There are even stories where their creator, Sibo, turned a woman into the first cacao tree. That's why they say cacao is feminine and women are the ones who prepare it in sacred ways. They don't burn the branches. They don't take the tree for granted. They respect the tree of cacao. Now, let's go even deeper, how that's like a deep connection. That's a deep connection in regards to the food. And not only that, but it's like a relationship. Now let's head to Guatemala, to the mountains of Alta Verapaz. There, the Quechua Maya drink cacao every day as part of their life. For years, though, they were getting ripped off, pay pennies for their beans. So what did they do? They organized. They built a co-op, opened their own cacao factory, a $1.2 million spot owned by the people, and now they get paid fairly, and they run the game of cacao. Now, that's more than a business. That's an indigenous resistance at its finest. They plant cacao with ceremony. They ask the land for permission. They honor the tree like the elders. And again, it's not farming, not just farming, but it is farming, and it is prayer, and it's also power to the gente. Now, check this out. In eastern Guatemala, the Chori Maya people, they do cacao in ceremony for rain. They believe cacao helps to call rain. That's why they protect the trees. They don't chop it down, because when you respect cacao, cacao is going to give you what you need. You're also protecting the forest. Yeah, crazy, right? Spirituality connection equals environmental conservation. And guess what? They've been knowing this for years, generations, that's what happens whenever you do that. Real quick, if you're listening right now, and if you ever sip some real cacao, and it open your heart just a little bit, put your hands, brought some peace to you, put your hand over your heart, because what? It's not by chance. That is literally memory. You are remembering something very, very old. Something that probably your ancestors did too. Sip on this delicious drink called cacao when it's done correctly. So take a second, please. Once again, put your hand over your heart, breathe, and say, yeah, I remember. Now that's cacao working for you. All right, let's flip it a little bit. Here are 3 fun facts that you might have not known about cacao. Number 1, cacao was once used as money. The Aztecs or Mexica used to use cacao beans as coins. You could buy a tamale with 1 bean or a turkey for 100 beans. People even faked them. They stuffed empty shells to scam folks. Wild. Cacao flowers sprout out of the trunk. Most fruits grow on the branches, but not cacao. Cacao comes directly on the side of the trunk and the bark, and that's just crazy that it does that. Blood and cacao were mixed in ceremonies in some Mayan rituals. Priests could mix blood with cacao as an offering. Symbolic, sacred, not just something you find on Starbucks for sure. Now let's get real. No, you've seen a lot of people doing ceremonies or cacao ceremonies popping up all over the place. Yoga studios, different studios, TikTok, social media. Some look very beautiful, aesthetic, pleasing and everything. Some are rooted on some truth, but a lot, they're just copying without the culture. So, indigenous elders have said clearly there's not one ancient cacao ceremony. Different tribes have different ways. It was used for healing, for settling family arguments, for spiritual alignment. So if you're going to sip cacao in ceremony, do your homework, give credit, support indigenous people who carry the real stories. Most people think that Mayans were the first with cacao, but nope, that's not what happened. The oldest cacao use goes back all the way to 5,000 years in Ecuador. The Mayo Chinchipe people were using cacao before the pyramids, before corn, before kings. Later, the Olmec Mayan, Mexica Aztecs spread it even further. At a Maya city called Chocolat, they built underground water systems to grow cacao. This just wasn't farming. This was strategy, ceremonial, and power. Now in 2025, you can find cacao in smoothies, lattes, ceremonies, supplements, but just remember where it all came from. It came from our people, it came from our land, it came from our indigenous hands who kept it alive through colonization, violence, and erasure. So next time you sip the real cacao, give thanks, some prayer, buy it from an indigenous producer. That's how you can honor the root itself. All right, familia. So this is a wrap for another episode of Cacao. And real quickly, it's not just trendy. It's not just a wellness drink. It's sacred seed. It's a reminder of where we are, where we came from. It's a bridge to something that is deeper, way deeper, that even our ancestors used to use and drink. No. So make sure if this hit your soul, if you felt something, that's remembrance, make sure you tell somebody about this episode and that your ancestors are the reason why we still have this to this day. Make sure you tag somebody that likes to sip cacao. Tell somebody they enjoys. And make sure you follow, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Always. And once again, thank you so much for being part of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Remember to subscribe right now. Remember to leave a comment. Remember to like. Remember to send it to your bestie. And remember, once again, we are just like you. We are people. We are the spice and flavor in this melting pot that it is the world. Till next time.